I'm a primary school teacher. I'm currently teaching in the UK. It's summer. I am no longer an NQT. I passed my NQT this year. I am officially not an NQT anymore. I survived somehow. I asked on Instagram if you had any questions you would like me to answer about your first year teaching or your PGCE. I am no means an expert, I just merely survived. How was your experience overall? I had a really lovely NQT year, and I really do think that was down to the school I was in. I am currently teaching, I'm still teaching at the school I did my NQT year at. It is a Church of England school, it is a first school, and it's lovely. I felt really well supported. I had a class of absolute angels and I loved it. I really enjoyed it. I couldn't have asked for a better NQT year. So I do feel very lucky to have had a lovely school for my NQT year. If I'm looking down, it's because I'm looking at the question. How did you settle into being a class teacher when you're used to being a student teacher? I don't know if it's the same for everyone else, but we had an increase in the amount that we were actually teaching towards the end of the year. So for the last, I want to say like 2 months of my placement, I was teaching full-time apart from the day, or it was 2 afternoons where I'd have my NQT and my PPA time. So it's just like I was teaching normal timetable. I did find it quite tricky to not have that I did have support, so I don't want to say I'm not that support, but you know what I mean, not, if you're a student teacher now, you know that if something is going wrong and a lesson's going crap, you can hand your class back. I like not having a safety net. I think because I was really lucky and I'd pretty much taught full time with my placement class, that it wasn't that huge transition for me because I'd experienced it quite a bit. So I would suggest teaching as much as you can before you leave your placement school. My next question, best work-life balance tips. Don't take anything home. Try and do it while you are at school. So do it during the lesson. I love live marking, and I feel like that's really useful for them actually getting feedback during the lesson. Or at lunch times or a little bit after school, but I refuse to take anything home because then as soon as I'm home I can kind of like get out of work mode and get into like Netflix mode or whatever mode I'm in that's not my teacher brain. My next question, how often were you observed when you were on placement and as an NQT? Placement feels like so long ago, so I genuinely can't remember. I want to say it was once or twice a week when I was on placement, and that was by my mentor, my student mentor there, and then I think I want to say once a term from university as well. They used to have someone who came in as an NQT. I was observed every half term, and I think that's standard. I think. My next question, do you have a TA hoping to do my early years PGCE? How exciting! You're very brave going into early years. I did have a TA last year and I had a split class and I love her so much. We were both really sad when she was cleaning out her cupboard to go. I don't have a TA this year, it's just me and 25 of my little friends. But something I would say for your NQT year is use your TA. I used to be like, please can you cut these out? And she'd be like, yes, like ask me to do things, don't do it yourself. She's just like, use your TA, they're there for you to use them. Because I felt awful asking my TA to do things, and she's just, I love her, it's amazing. Were you nervous before the first week? How did you prepare for the first week? I was so nervous. I can remember the night before, I couldn't get to sleep. It was like the night before Christmas. I was so scared. I think it's like the fear of the unexpected. I'd met my class previously on like our very own transition day, and for half an hour, so I couldn't put names to faces. I had no clue. I was really nervous, so I couldn't sleep. I prepared for the first week. My mentor, my NQT mentor, is also my key stage. She's amazing, so she helped me a lot with that. And I pretty much kind of planned the first day, and then from there I could kind of see where we could go. Any tips on being confident in the classroom for people starting their training in September? Fake it till you make it, 100%. As long as you look confident, then the children will think you know what you're doing. I would literally just, that's all I did, fake it till you make it. Understand that any mistakes that you make, they are children and they forget about it by the next hour. They don't care. You can do it. You're amazing. Good luck. What was the most unexpected moment of your first year of teaching? Honestly, I think it was after the children come in from being outside the very first day. The children come in, we'd done the register, and they were sitting on the carpet all staring at me. And I was like, oh my goodness, I am responsible for these 23 little human beings, and they are looking at me as though I'm supposed to do something. That's like feeling fully responsible for a class for the first time is terrifying. Must-haves for your classroom. Did you have an NQT folder and what was in it? I think I have a video on my top 10 buys for NQTs. I'll link that down below, you can go and watch that. You will get lots of your supplies from your school, so don't worry about that. What did you do on your first day with the class and any tips from your first week as an NQT? The first day with my class, we sat down, we talked about ourselves, talked about what we did in the summer. They did a big write so I could level where their writing was. I read with a few of them. They applied for their classroom jobs. I can't remember. It feels like so long ago. The first week as an NQT, just make sure that you have your behaviour management strategies set in place and you are firm with them, because that week is so important to get relationships with your children, form those relationships and form expectations as well. What's the one piece of advice you'd give to someone for their NQT year? Enjoy it, like really enjoy it, and it's the time where you can make mistakes and it's okay. I would say to try out as many things as you can during that year. I tried out loads and loads of things that I definitely now know that I cannot use. Yeah, and set yourself realistic. This is not one piece of advice, this is more. Set yourself realistic expectations. You are not going to have like an Instagram classroom. Like, I'm pretty sure they don't exist. You don't have to go for like every trend that's floating around Instagram. Some of them just won't work for you, and that's okay, and just cut yourself some slack. You're doing amazing. Did you make seating plans over the summer or get to know the class first? For this year, I've had to switch my classroom all around from what it was last year, and I have made seating plans. I have put name labels on the table so the children can find their seats for that first week. Definitely they're going to stay on there. But my classroom will probably change layout by October half term, I'm pretty sure. Last year, I don't think I did. I think I set the mixed ability, and then after they'd done their initial quizzes and I had the initial data for them, I then ability grouped them. But then it changed about 5 times from then. Like, they get used to it, it's fine. Do you have any advice for any NQTs who don't have a job for September yet? Go supply. Like, I think supply is such a great experience to have. Like, you get to see so many different schools and you get paid for it. You get to see what year group you would like. Like, I was adamant, I was like, oh, I'd love to work in early years, and then got my job in Key Stage 2, and like, I love Key Stage 2. I think it's my favourite. I think year 3 is my favourite year. I'm gonna put it out there. They're cute, they're nice, they're quite mature, they're quite independent, but they still need you. Like, you can have sarcastic banter with them and they will come back rather than looking at you like they don't understand your humour. But I would still love like lower down the school, but I didn't realise how much I would love year 3. So I'd say go on supply, so you can visit as many schools as possible. Lots of people actually find their jobs from supply who I've spoken to who didn't have a job last year. Yes, behaviour management strategies. Be consistent and be firm. Set your expectations from the start and do not bend around them. I'm all about like positive reinforcement rather than like screaming and shouting. How many days did you go in over summer? I assume this means going to school. I went in for 3 days. I went in 2 in the first week and 1 in the last week to set up my classroom. The TV's just come on. There's definitely something happening in my house. because if you think, I think that's probably more than I'll go in this year. The 2 days I went in were the first day was to see what my classroom looked like because I couldn't remember, to strip everything down and then put my new displays up and then to change it with how I wanted it. They are all the questions I'm going to answer because I have had to shut the window for this video and I'm actually a bit sweaty. I hope you have the most amazing NQT year ever. You can do it. Goodbye. Hi, I'm Sophie and welcome back to my spare room.